What is going on, everyone? It is your boy, Kuroyuki ESO. And today, believe it or not, I happen to have a video for you. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But before we hop on into it, I just want to let you know that after this is over, I want you to have a good day, alright? I don't know what you've got planned for the day. I don't know if you've got enough sleep, if you've even been to sleep. Whatever it is, though, have a good day. That's what's really important here. And also, if you want to make my day better, you could consider leaving a like, a comment, or maybe even subscribing if you're into this kind of stuff. And by this kind of stuff, I mean today, I have a Stamina Warden build, as well as some gameplay and commentary for you guys to digest. Nothing amazing, I haven't been playing this build too long. I haven't been able to play a lot lately. I missed pretty much all of Mid-Year Mayhem because I'm in the process of trying to move right now, and it's a little taxing, but it's whatever. It's what it is. It is what it is. But Stam Warden, super great class. I'm new to it actually. I played it once a long time ago around Somerset. It lasted for a little bit, but after that I never touched it again. But I'm really enjoying it. It's got a pretty good built-in burst with the stupid skill called the Subterranean Assault. Great burst, great AoE damage, and great buff coverage. Great survivability, great sustain. It's definitely a fun class and one that I would recommend trying if you have not yet. So, yeah, I'm going to stop rambling now. We're just going to go ahead and hop onto the build. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and dive right on in here and take a look at our stats. We have buffed up, not fully buffed obviously, 4.7k weapon damage, 40% crit, 2.5k stam recov, 1000 for both the other recovs, 29k stam, 27k HP, 10k mag. The resistances are kind of bleh, but it's not too big of a deal. And then 3209 crit resist. We are a Nord. We've got all points in stamina. You can move some of these around to your liking, however you want. You can do more health if you need to. I'm using Artaeum Takeaway Broth. You can also use any food on this build and it'll still work fine. This is just the one that I've felt worked the best for me and my playstyle. And then I am using the Warrior Mundus. So, now that that's out of the way, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the sets that I'm using on this build. And of course, the first set is New Moon Acolyte. This is front bar only with Nirnhoned Maul with weapon damage enchant. If you don't know New Moon, first of all, you should probably stop living under that rock because everyone knows New Moon. This set's all over the place. It's great. It's really strong, and there's honestly not really any other set that I could really think of to use as a front bar damage set unless you wanted to use stun. So that's an option, I guess, but I don't like stun as much as I like New Moon. So it gives you crit, gives you weapon damage, gives you pin, and it gives you more weapon damage. It's about 600 weapon damage. Very nice. Back bar, we do have two potentates. I've got a sturdy shield and a Nirnhoned one-hander. This keeps the healing pretty high, as well as I don't know, keeping the healing high, I guess. You could do defending if you want to be a little tankier. You could go powered if you don't want to change to Nirnhoned. Honestly, I think either of those would probably be better than Nirnhoned. I just have Nirnhoned on this because that's what it was for the last build I used it on. Whoops. And then I've got two double dot poisons on the back bar as well. We don't have any weapon attacks on the back bar, so they're not going to proc super often. But when they do proc, they are a nice free extra pressure. When you're light attack weaving your heals and stuff, might proc on somebody, and next thing you know, they're hurt. My monster set is Bloodspawn. I know a lot of people don't like this right now, but I like it. It is 3,300 resistances, some extra ult, and some extra stam reco. All of those things I really like. You can do whatever monster set you want here, honestly. The two that I would recommend, three actually, you could either go Balrog for more damage, which is really nice. You could go with Engine Guardian, because right now Engine Guardian is just really fucking strong. It's got great sustain, super strong heal, free line of sight in fights. It's really nice. Or you could go with Malabeth if you prefer the tankier up in your face style, because Malabeth right now is really strong too. Gives you health, gives you get the extra healing through the little tether. I don't have any of that on me right now, or else I'd show you, but yeah, those are the other options. This is just the one that I like to go with. I think it synergizes well with the fact that we are in Nord, and we just get to pump out ults left and right. And then my other set is Eternal Vigor. If you don't know this set yet, it gives you just pretty much a shit ton of every kind of recovery, as well as some extra health. When you're above 50% health, you get a bunch of mag and stam recov, and then when you're below, you get about 1,000 health recov. So when you're in execute range, this procs, and you get a lot of free health recovery, and it just kind of helps you scoot on out of that execute range. Nice and cozy. So yeah, then I've got the other blood spawn, new moon here, Eternal Vigor, new moon. This is a 5 medium build with 2 heavy, and all stamina glyphs, because we don't really need anything else. If you want to do triglyphs, you can. It's up to you. And then we have the 3 Eternal Vigor jewelry. These do drop in healthy, so you're going to need to trade swap these over to infused or robust if you want. If you want to have a little more stam, just a little bit less damage, it's really up to you. Those are the 2 that I go with, and all weapon damage and chance, of course. So yeah, that is those are the sets. That is our itemization. So yeah, let's take a look now at the skills that I'm using. First skill is Rally. I'm actually going to show you 2 different bar setups that you can use. This is the one that I prefer, but there is another one that I think would work really good. So yeah, and I'll give you the ups and downs of each one. But the first one, the one that I use personally, is Rally. This is our burst heal and our major brutality, our 20% extra weapon damage, as well as giving us minor endurance, increasing our stamina recovery. So this is what helps us get that really nice 2.5k stam reco, as well as being a burst heal. And the burst heal isn't super duper reliable, but it does what it's supposed to do. Bird of Prey, this is our movement speed buff. Lasts 6 seconds, which is longer than pretty much all the other movement speed buffs in the game except for channel acceleration, so it's really good uptime on this, as well as giving us free minor berserk whenever we're on our front bar, which is where all of our damage is. So, just free damage. Dizzy Swing, you know what this does, you slap someone in the back of the dome piece and they die. That's what it's for. The tooltip isn't super amazing because this isn't a heavy damage build, but still 14k on the spam bowl is not too shabby. Executioner, this puts them down. You get them to low health, you slap them with this, and they die. It's nice. And then Sub Assault, this is AoE burst. This thing hits really hard. And it also gives us our armor debuff. So, anyone you hit with this is going to be weaker. They're going to be physically weaker. They're going to contract an ailment. They're going to get sick, and they're just going to fall over and die. And it also just hurts really bad. AoE, ouch time, fun, really good combo with a Dizzy Swing into the sub. And you can top it all off with one of these, Dawnbreaker of Smiting. You could also do the two-handed ultimate if you're feeling a little frisky. But this is the one I like. I don't like the other one, so I don't run the other one. I like this because it's AoE, again, stun, strong initial hit tooltip, and a strong dot afterwards. So these 2 things together can be really, really good for taking out a couple of targets, or at least weakening a group. And if you get a Dizzy Swing on somebody into the sub, into the Dawnbreaker from the middle of a group, that guy's probably fucking dead. So yeah. And then on the back bar, I've got Resolving Vigor. Tooltip isn't super duper impressive. Again, the tooltips on this build aren't very impressive, but trust me, everything does what it's supposed to. 20k over 4 seconds healing. This is by an alliance objective, so we're getting the combat medic passive. So this would be a little bit lower if you're not here, like 18 or something k. Bullnetch. This is our single debuff cleanse, as well as another source of major brutality. So, you know, do what you want with that. And then it also gives us back stam, which is really helpful. So that 2.5k stam recoup on top of this, you're not running out of stam anytime soon. As long as you're not, like, I don't know, pressing for vigor every half second. But one thing I've learned from playing this class, because I haven't played it very much in the past, is that a lot of the playstyle revolves around being able to use this ability effectively, because the more I've played this, I've learned that the more debuffs I cleanse off of myself, the less I die. It's crazy how it works. But yeah, if you're being attacked by a lot of people and you happen to get a second away from them, where you're not engaged in direct combat for just that moment, you know, your buffs are already up, you're healing, cast a few bull niches, because you're going to have dots on you, you're going to have defiles on you, you're going to have all that shit on you. This gets rid of them one by one, so just weaving this in between your combos, or, you know, bar swap canceling this when you go back onto your front bar just to get rid of that one extra effect really does make a big, massive difference to your survivability on this class, and I don't think you should ever really overlook it, for sure. So now that rant is done, the next skill is Ice Fortress. This is our armor buff, as well as minor protection. I don't even know what else to say about that, that's just a lot of mitigation. You know, it makes you a thick boy. Then we're using Leeching Vines. Now, I'll go ahead and explain why I like Leeching Vines. And actually, it's not Leeching Vines that I like, it's just the vines in general. You can use either one. The secondary effect on both of them is pretty negligible, but, you know, it exists. Either way, we're not even really using this for the heal. We're using this to proc a passive here in green. Two passives, actually, in green balance. One is Accelerated Growth. When you heal yourself or an ally that is under 40% health with the green balance ability, you gain Major Mending, increasing healing by 25%. So, every other skill here you actively have to cast, you have to think about it, and if you're trying to not die, sometimes it's really inconvenient when you have to cast another ability to get your Major Mending, you know? So, this gets rid of the thought process entirely. It automates it for you. The second you drop below 40%, this is going to tick, and you're going to get that Major Mending, so you don't even have to think about it. Now, the second passive that it gives us is Nature's Gift. This thing is really nice. Now, I don't know exactly how it works, but it gives you back 250 magic or stamina, depending on which resource pool is lower. Now, by lower, I don't know if they mean lower maximum or lower at the time, but either way, it doesn't matter, because both of those are 99% of the time going to be magicka, so basically, this is a free 500 magic recovery every, well, 500 magic recovery when you have your Leeching Vines active, on top of the 1000 that we already have. So mag sustain on this build is delicious. So you can cast your burb whenever you want to. You can feel safe, because Ice Fortress, you're never gonna run out of mag and not be able to cast it. It's cozy. And Leeching Vines, again, doesn't really cost too much mag. Easy to get back up, and yeah, so easy Major Mending, easy mag sustain. So yeah, you got sustain for days on this build. Mag sustain, stamp sustain, health sustain, whatever. And then the last ability is Shuffle. Shuffle reduces our AoE damage taken by 25%. This makes you really, really tanky. As well as giving us our Snare and Immobilization immunity. You could run Elude here if you wanted to have more quick blood time. That's really up to you. But I like to have the Snare and Immobilization immunity on this build, because I do have Bird of Prey, which again, with our mag sustain, we can cast this at will most of the time. So you can be fast that way and then still have this, so that way you've got your movement covered. And just nice buff coverage across the board. And then lastly, we have Healing Thicket as my backbar ultimate. Healing Thicket is a super great heal. It's a strong healing ability. 10,000 or 11,000 here. Let's go ahead and buff up real quick to see what it hits. 12,000 health instantly, and then 4,000 health every second for 6 seconds. As well as it also, you know, it'll proc your Major Mending if you're in a bit of a situation and you don't have this active. So yeah, there's that. And it just heals you for a shit ton. If you're getting dogpiled, you're getting your ass beat, you can cast this and you're probably not going to die through it. You still might. It happens. You know, it happens to the best of us, but most of the time this will save you. You do have two other options though for backbar ultimate. You could do Sword and Board ult, which I don't have. So take that however you want to. or you can do permafrost, or the other one. I don't know which one it is that wardens use because I don't use this, but this is a good ultimate too. It gives you major protection when you cast it, which is 30% reduced damage, so that's 12 seconds of don't die. And as well, it also does a little bit of damage, you know, not a whole lot. I think the other one does more. Maybe it matters. I don't know which one they're using, like I said. And it also slows everyone down, so it's pretty good for helping you kite. It's good for keeping you alive. Very solid. I just like the raw healing better, and especially with this thing's cheap cost. We are a Nord, and we are using Bloodspawn if you use Bloodspawn. Again, I'm not going to twist your arm about it. Use whatever monster set you want. But we get this ult back in fucking seconds, so you can always get this panic heal if you need it. So now I'm going to show you that second bar setup and talk about the differences between them. So for the second bar setup, you're going to put Bullnetch on your front bar, get rid of Rally completely, you're going to slot in Soothing Spores for your burst heal, and then you're going to put in Arctic Blast. I haven't used it, but I've seen people use it, and it's a very strong skill. I don't have the thing morphed myself, but Arctic Blast is really strong because it gives you a nice health-based heal. So if you stack a little more health through either food with more HP or some extra stat points or, you know, enchants, you'll get a nice powerful burst heal from this, as well as heal over time based on your max health. And it also does damage. And the Arctic Blast makes it to where when enemies take 3 ticks of the damage, it stuns them. So this is pretty solid at pulling Nightblades out of stealth if they're trying to run away from you. And it just heals you for a shit ton. And again, what's wrong with that, you know? But there's 2 problems with this. Oh, I forgot to mention, having Bullnetch in your front bar gives you 3% extra damage just to make your shit hit a little bit harder. You know, that's always nice. Not a lot, but you know, it is what it is. And we still get our we still get brutality from it. But now the differences between the two. You want to use Soothing Spores so you can have a burst heal, right? And also you want a green balance ability to proc your major mending. But that's the thing. You're only going to proc that major mending when you actively cast Soothing Spores. So if you are not in a situation where you are comfortable to cast this, you're not getting that major mending. And another thing is that your mag sustain is not going to be anywhere near as good because none of these are going to be proccing that nature's gift every second. But when you can sustain this, your healing is ridiculous because you've got Resolving Vigor, which is a powerful heal over time. You've got this, which is a really powerful burst heal and a heal over time, as well as extra damage and stun, an AoE stun that hits everyone around you. And then you've got a nice consistent burst heal. This one's a little more consistent than Rally, but again, there is a caveat. Rally, when it is like fully charged, will heal you for more than this. I've had my Rally crit dispatch for like 11, 12k. This thing is lucky to hit like 9, 8. So yeah, there's that. But it's consistent. You know, if you cast Rally and then recast it too early, you might catch a 2k crit and then you just want to off yourself. So those are the 2 bar setups. Again, I don't have this thing morphed, so you're gonna have to look at the morph yourself. But it's strong. I know. I've seen people use it. I've heard people talk about it. It's just not something that I'm really interested in because it doesn't fit in with what I want from the build. But it is a very strong option. So yeah, now that I'm done with that rant, I'm going to take a look at the champion points. Starting here in the red tree. Not going to go too in-depth into this, but let's take a look at it. 20% ironclad, 1000 crit resist. Might be a little over-invested. You do want a lot in a thick-skinned, because while you can cleanse off those dots, they hurt a lot this patch with the reduced healing, so reducing some of that dot damage is pretty vital. And 8% into both of these, 32 points, just enough to get Unchained. And then I have 56 into Quick Recovery for all that extra healing. 1 point is Siphoner to give people that can cleanse just 1 extra thing to cleanse before they can get all the nasty stuff off of them. Warlord, Break Free, you know, Mooncalf, Tenacity, 56, 75. This is how we get our sustain. And then Tumbling and Shadow Ward, I like to keep these pretty even, but you can, if you prefer to have to be more of a blocking character over a dodge rolly boy, it's really up to you. If you have a preference, I just like to keep them nice and even, so that way I have options when it comes to defending myself. I have 56 into blessed. Yeah, gotcha. It's 12% extra healing, 72 into master at arms, 50 into piercing, 49 into mighty, and 43 into precise strikes. Now the secret behind what you just saw there was that I was actually debating putting more damage into my CP and losing a little bit of that healing. And if you wanted to go with a little more damage in the CP, I'd suggest doing something along these lines here. I feel like I did that wrong. Did I miss something? Because that's... no, that's right. Alright. So yeah, and that is the CP. And then lastly, I do want to touch on the potion that I use on this build. The primary potion I use in the build, at least. That's not it. So we do have detect pots, because I'm not using the Arctic Blast, which would help pull the Night Blades out. Don't have it. So I use these. These are shitty ones. You can get them with some other effects attached. I just got base, nothing else but stealth detect. Not a big deal, get whatever you can. They're super helpful, and I always recommend having a stack of these on pretty much any character you're playing when you're in open world. I do have tripods. I don't use tripods. I just kind of have these for if I want to try out the Arctic Blast setup, because I'm not going to have the same mag recov. But what I really use is the Essence of Weapon Crit here, so that way I don't have to put a skill in my bar to get the weapon crit. Since we don't need that mag sustain from tripods, we get the extra spot open here for the crit buff, as well as our health and our stam, as well as the recoveries for those. So yeah, I chug these pots, and it keeps your crit up. And that is everything about the build. So if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please file them in the comments below. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and hop on over into some solo and outnumbered gameplay clips with a little bit of commentary from yours truly, so you guys can hear my thought process as I play the build and see if it is something you may or may not be interested in. So yeah, see you there in just a second. Alright, so this first clip is it's not solo, it's more group play, kind of, not really. It's ends up being a 3vx, turns to a 2vx, and so I just chase these guys out here. It's just the two of them. They're weak. I do that, I get my buffs up, hit them with the sub and dizzy swings, and then I realize there's more. It's alright though. I got a Dawnbreaker, lay it down, kill one, almost kill the second one, when then these guys jump in. Now I get a little pissy here, because I'm like, I totally could have taken that fight by myself, and I'm not going to help you. But then I realize we're right underneath their spawns, so they can just keep hopping out. So I decide to stop being a bitch and hop in. I start laying down my rotation on these guys. I just somehow managed to actually smack that guy in the back of the head with an executioner. I didn't even really mean to. I wasn't even aiming for him, but it's alright. He took a dirt nap. Now I'm trying to kill this Stam Crow, but Stam Crows are still pretty fucking tanky, and this build is not like straight up damage, so it's not really doing it. I start to let my buffs drop a little bit here, and I'm starting to run low on stam because I'm not paying any fucking attention at all. So I start doing some heavy attacks, get my buffs up, just try to stay with these guys because I have no idea how many more blues might show up. And the bomber almost annihilates that guy, so we get him real quick. Fuck you, Stam Crow. So now I try to Dawnbreaker this Sork, and the Sork just rolls out of the way like I'm retarded or something. It's just fuck you. So that's fun. I turn around, this guy's getting ulted. I can't really do anything to help him. I throw vines on him, and that procs Troll King. By the way, I was wearing Troll King at this point. And yeah, that guy takes a dirt nap, so now it's just me and this one person against this group. We kite inside this building. I cycle my heals. I do some heavy attacks here to keep my stam up. Now, since I am using Troll King, I throw some vines on this person to help them. They get a really good leap, so I drop the healing ult just to give some support here. And they decide to look at the other person instead of me, so I just decided to slap them all in the back of the neck. Kill two of them here as they're just blindly chasing Lulu Bella over here. So they get a little annoyed. They turn and poke me in the ass a few times, and then they decide to run away. So they just leave these two in here with me and my comrade here. So we annihilate the werewolf real quick. Didn't have a chance, and it's just this Templar who catches the fattest loop I've ever seen. And then the falling slow-mo 360 f-top no-scope executioner, and that is the end of the first clip. Alright, so the second clip is a valiant defense of the Holy Land by yours truly. The Blues have decided to invade my land that I hold so dear, and I decide to fight back. They don't take too kindly to that, though, and they dispatch their most loyal subjects to come and dispatch me. Unfortunately for them, their most loyal subjects are total pussies. I hit that guy with the burst, almost kill him, he decides to run away. And then here comes another one, once again, hit him with the burst, almost kill him, and he jumps down and runs away. I'm not very pleased with that, so I jump out. Immediately I regret my decision. I apologize, but they don't accept it. So I run back inside the tower, and I start just trying to heal. You know, I hit my vigor, do my heavy attacks, do my rally. I'm doing whatever I can. Drop the trees, just stick in the trees for a second, try to catch some extra healing. I'm getting hit by like 3 different radiants. I'm freaking out. Luckily though, this is a good chance for you guys to see how effective the build can be at staying alive. I'm getting hit in the back by multiple Templars. They're just gap closing, poking, radianting. I see bats. I'm freaking the fuck out. Dropping more trees, just trying to get as many walls between me and them as possible, and then I see it, my opportunity, another yellow. So I quickly run away and let them see the other yellow. I fed him to them. They were pleased. So now I have, you know, after my diversion, I have a nice one-on-one fight with this DK here. Now this DK, his left trigger has to be broken or something, because he definitely uses it way too much. He just did not let go of it the entire fight. I come out here chasing him, and there's a couple people. I don't really feel comfortable with that. Luckily, I queue up the combo. This guy comes in unbuffed, and he catches it right to the face, and it puts him down. So now it's just 1v2 again, but now I got a DK, and I've got a Necro. I don't really like the Defile, and DK dots while being defiled can be kind of annoying. So I'm just kind of sizing up my situation. And another guy comes in, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna relocate, I'm gonna go up top, I'm gonna prepare myself, get my heals ready, cycle through, drop the sub, get ready for the combo. Now somehow, I think the DK just swapped bars or something, because he dropped block for just long enough for me to Dawnbreaker him, and that ruined his whole day. So yeah, he's out of the fight. Now another guy comes up the stairs, it's a Mag Crow. So now I've got a Mag Crow and a Stam Crow. I feel like I should get extra points for that. Now the Mag Crow is going to start dropping fear totems, like a punk. So every time I go up here, I get feared, and it gets pretty annoying pretty quick. Luckily, he's low CP, so I just slap him around like the little punk that he is, and he eventually dies. There we go. He has been sent to another realm. Now it's just me and this Necromancer, this Stam Necromancer. Unfortunately, Stam Necros are still tanky and still annoying to deal with. This guy didn't really pose much of a threat for 90% of this fight. He just kind of stayed alive and annoyed me. So we duke it out a little bit. We both, you know, drop ults, we both burst each other, and it doesn't really go anywhere. We keep it up though, you know, because we're both stubborn, we both have egos, and then, as if divine intervention stepped in to put this to an end, get a load screen. So I'm like, well, that was a good fight. Guess it's over. I'll wait here to see my death recap, but lo and behold, I am not dead, and there is a weirdo staring at me. Now, naturally, I don't like that. I asked him to stop staring at me, but he didn't, so I decided I had to kill him instead. And there we go. He's dead. So now, again, it's just me and the Stam Crow, who decides to peel my entire hairline back, and so I retreat down the stairs like a bitch. Pop my trees. It happens sometimes, you know? I'm not afraid to accept that. So I come back up the stairs, and we just start duking it out again. Just a nice 1v1, and then here comes Fear Totem Boy again, and he decides to knock me off the tower. Now, lucky for him, I did not go all the way down to the bottom, otherwise I would send him a very strongly worded leather, because that would piss me off. This guy starts taking damage from God knows where, and I just curse the heavens that I did not have a Dawnbreaker ready to feed him, because I would have been able to end his life there. Sadly, I did not. So I'm just going to keep on fighting the normal way. This dude is terrified to come and actually engage, so he's just going to hide up on top of the stairs, dropping fear totems on the stairs, trying to keep distance between me and him. I understand, but I'm still a little bit offended. Maybe I smell. So I see a couple more come in, and I decide that I don't really want to fight right there because I'm getting this feeling that I'm about to get overwhelmed. So I decide to relocate, go down, and make for another tower. But I turn around and no one's chasing me. It's never good for solo players. I need people to chase me. Luckily, I catch a purifying light here. I'm like, cool, I've got to fight. But I don't. Whoever put that on me just decided to pull a hit and run, dotted me up, and then ran away like a little girl. I don't like that. Now I have no one to fight, so I decided I'm just going to re-engage the same guys that I fought before. I walk up here, they're all just having a little powwow, don't know what they're doing. I set my sights on the Stam Crow from before, don't know why, he was tanky as shit, that probably wasn't the best first target, but, you know, it is what it is. I go up top to try to funnel them through, and then I see Fear Totem Boy again, and naturally I'm like, okay, I don't like you. Try to kill him, Dizzy Swing didn't go off, because that's ESO, and I have to deal with that for the rest of my life now, knowing that I could have killed him, but I did not because the game hates me. So I start taking some damage, kiting, healing, buffing, the usual. Run away, and then all of a sudden, you know what time it is. It's sacrifice time. I'm gonna try to help him though. You know, I decided this time, maybe this guy's holding his own over here, maybe we can do some 2vx shit, you know? Maybe we can put this entire group down. I realized real quick that that's not happening, so I run back in my tower, and they all decide to chase him, luckily for me, because, as you can see, it's quite a few of them over there, and, you know, sometimes sacrifices must be made. So this guy comes around the corner, and I should have had the brain power to see that Magplar, most likely in heavy, with a resto, with bubble, with Malabeth, probably not dying. At least not that easily. So instead of hitting the sniper behind me, I decide to hit him. Doesn't work. I pay the price because everyone decides to come over and see what all the commotion is. Naturally, like a good neighbor, I'm just gonna leave quietly. You know, they filed the noise complaint, the police came, and I said, okay, fine, I'll simmer down. They weren't really having it though, so they decided to shit in my lawn. I'm just trying to defend myself here. There's just so many of them. Now I'm getting siege to take a cold fire, and I don't want that to ruin my day, so I decided to drop a tree ult. Tree ult might have saved me, might have been unnecessary, but I don't know. Sometimes you do what you have to do. Cold fire hurts. I don't want to just stand in it because it'll make me regret all of my life decisions. So yeah, I mean, I could have tried to purify it off, but I don't know. I was acting in the moment. Now, I'm hoping someone followed me over here, because it looked like there was somebody. Turn around, and there's no one but a guard. So I take my frustrations out on him, just to be stunned, thank God. So I set down the sub, cue up the Dawnbreaker, slap him in the face, and there's your change. And then, here comes the DK again, the one with the LT problem. Put the sub down, start hitting him, and of course he goes right into the blocks on his two-handed bar. I thought he ran out of stamina there, but no, he had enough to get out, dodge, roll, whole block, and hit a vigor. So I'm just kind of free rotating on him, dizzy, sub, dizzy, sub, a couple times. He puts some damage into me, and I decided that I don't want to get exposed, so I'm just gonna make sure that he doesn't kill me, you know, defend a little bit. Luckily, he let block drop long enough to kill him there, and that is the end of that clip. Now, this fight did go on for a little bit longer, but there's not really anything to see. Just about 5 or 6 more minutes of me kiting and then getting 1 kill and then snipe desynced. So that is where that one ends. Now we're jumping into the final clip, and I see a group of people harassing these poor innocent guards on this resource, so I decided to come in and start slapping them with my big sword. They retaliate, which is not entirely unexpected, but it's definitely frowned upon. But anyway, I deal with it. I decide to try to pick a target, and then I see this lobby over here, squishy ranged boy, just kind of firing spells at these innocent guards. So I go ahead and set up the combo, hit him with it, and take him down. So now it's just me, this healer, and this guy with a bow. Clearly, the guy with the bow is going to be a little easier, so I decided to go for him when another guy with a bow comes up. I guess they must be friends. The guy with the bow decides to start holding LT, and so does the guy beside him. I guess it's a thing they do. I don't know. It doesn't matter though, because his LT did not save him. He catches the Dawnbreaker with the sub and the D-swings and goes down. This guy's got shit ton of HP. I see this guy rezzing out of the corner of my eye, so I sprint in like an eagle to bash him, just slap him in the face real quick, because I don't appreciate that. Luckily, this guy has a lot of health, but no healing, so I go ahead and just kind of bully him a little bit in front of all of his friends. This guy decides to start rezzing again, and once again, I slap him like a little bitch. And now this guy is a necro bomber, I'm assuming. I decide to go bash this guy again, but I step on a pole there and get stuck. Luckily, the guy was so traumatized by the previous 2 interactions that he decided to stop by himself, just long enough for me to burst his friend down. Now this guy is rezzing once again, and now it's just starting to really annoy me, so just me and him, I'm going to go full send on him and just start beating the shit out of him. Now this is some of the most triggering garbage I've ever had to be like witness to in my life. I don't know how he does it, but somehow this Magplar can spam dodge roll and block. And then there's a hero. This true American hero comes in to try to save the day, this level 20 sneaking into the fray. I feel bad for putting him down, but it had to be done because I need my one-on-one action with this guy. I'm going to go ahead and give you spoilers. I don't kill this guy. He does run away. He gets away. And it makes me very sad. I chased him around for quite a long time. A very long time, as a matter of fact. And I'm still sore about the subject. So sore, in fact, that I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. So yeah, you can just kind of stay and watch me attempt to kill this pussy as he runs away. That is the end of this one. I hope you guys liked it. You know, leave a like down below, maybe a comment, subscribe if you want more. Probably gonna work on Stamblade next. That's my plan, at least. Hopefully you guys want to see some Stamblade stuff. If not, well, I guess that's just a personal problem. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let the music play out while I chase this dude. You guys have a great day.